Hey guys, I am the Animal, or better known as Chris Price. I do a radio show called the All Things Metal Show, but now we're doing some new stuff here. We're doing model railroad stuff. I've been in the hobby for years and years and years, and this is a passion of mine. I love doing it. I still love doing the radio show, don't get me wrong, and there's going to be a lot more of that coming up really soon. Uh, I want to showcase something here for you guys. And not only am I just showing this off because it's really awesome, but this is also the how to video of building these bridges. Now, Stalwart3D is building some incredible stuff. They've got a lot of stuff coming out really soon that's just absolutely phenomenal, and I want you guys to be a part of this. And it's so freaking cheap. You know, you can go and buy these other guys that are, let's just face it, man, they're over $100 and stuff like that. These are so affordable, it's absolutely worth it. Go check out my friends at Stalwart3D, and they're in our page here at the Aacme Trains. Now, it's a hobby group here on Facebook for everybody. We want you guys to be a part of this. So, let's get this bridge thing built. Now, first thing you want to do is after you get it unboxed, which it comes incredibly well boxed, is you want to get all the sprues and everything taken off of the models. And there's very few, but there are a few that you need to take off. So we're going to get busy on that, and then we're going to start putting this thing together. So let's get this thing rocking. Here we go. And yes, I did say rocking. So let's get this going. All right, guys. So when it comes to putting this stuff together, you're going to want to define which end is what. Now, the ends that have these little caps on them like this, well, this is going to be your end piece. There are two of them, as you can see, and either one of them goes on either end. It doesn't matter. Just turn it around. It's insanely easy. This stuff is so great. Jason did an amazing job with designing this stuff and putting it all together. Now, there are just some little sprues that you've got to take off, and you know, of course, with 3D printing, there's those little web-looking things you got to take off, but that's not a big deal. Good X-Acto knife, and you got it going on, and it's so easy. Just a little clip there, a little clip there, and that piece is out. Now, all you have to do is go through all these. And you want to look this stuff over really well, because you don't want anything crazy sticking out or being a part of hindrance. I'm going to say that. These models are absolutely phenomenal. Such a great job on these. Good Lord. I mean, the detail is absolutely amazing. And I'm proud to be a part of this with these guys. I'm not really a part of it, but say I'm making a video for them to do this. And see, a lot of this stuff can just be clipped right off with a good X-Acto knife, just like that. That's it. That's all you have to do. And of course, there's some bigger pieces that just pull off. It's so easy, good Lord. A lot easier than the big boy models, I should say, in my opinion, my humble opinion. But that's it. That's all you gotta do is you gotta go through all these and just get these little clips taken off of them, and it's super easy. That's it. I mean, now something I do want to point out to you guys that I thought was just absolutely phenomenal on their part. Let me get this little piece off here. I'm going to point it out to you. When you get in here and you start looking at this stuff, the detail is so phenomenal. I mean, it's got little ridges in here for where the steel girders are placed. Speaking of the sidewalls, look at that. It's got the diamond design in the inside of it, and it also has these slots. There's one here, and there's one here, that go into the wall structure. Now, this is the end piece. This is the piece that will go on the end. It's great detail to it, and of course this is a solid piece. So that's just the way it comes. It's so cool. And I mean, look at that stuff. It's so freaking phenomenal. Now, one thing I want to point out to you guys is these little grooves. These grooves right here are 95% of putting this thing together. You want to make sure they fit together really well, just like that. That's all there is to this. Now, a lot of people would want to use clamps or something like that. Excuse me. I find it easier just to hold it in place like this. Is that the right piece for that? Oh, we have to go down one more. Okay. So this is how this piece is going to go. Then this piece goes into here, like so. Now, if you look in this piece here, there's a notch that's pretty wide and a pretty wide notch here, then a narrow notch here. Let me explain that to you. When you're constructing this, these girders go inside these very well, and just like that. I mean, there's the bottom side of it. And here's, you know, the top, the piece that has to go in. Okay, so when you go to put these things together, it's going to look at you and you're going to go, huh, that's kind of crazy. But let me tell you, it all works together really well. Now, something I found that works really well is this Plastruct. The weld is absolutely great to use. And I actually used the weld on this the last time I made one of these, and it worked out really well for me. So we're going to use that again this time. And you do want to have just, you don't have that bubble on the end, but you do want to have enough on here that when you put it in, you can see it. And the reason I like using this stuff so much is because it's so simple to use. I mean, boom, done. Right there, that's it. That's you know, you can use these clamps. Now, the clamps that I have found are really inexpensive. They're right here. As you can see, I've got a whole pile of stuff that I'm working on, but this is what, let me open this thing up. These are actually removable. Let me find one. Okay. This one right here, you've got a little screw that goes in, little talons and stuff, so yay. But if you want to use this, feel free. Don't think that you can't use things like this to build your model, because you absolutely can, and it's going to make it easier on you. I like to freehand it. That's just me. That's the way I am. But that's a whole nother ballgame. That's a whole nother story. We'll deal with that on another day. But as you can see, this stuff just fits together perfectly well. And now when you got the big pieces like this, something I do like to do, a little bit of wax paper, you just slide it underneath it as you're doing your gluing, because that's going to keep it from adhering to your board, whatever you're working on. Of course, I'm at my studio desk, you know, Radio Central here, and these things are so cool. Excuse me again. Now, whenever you got that going on for you like that, it's okay to use quite a bit of this inside there, because you're going to want to get that in there really good so that it stays together really well. So by putting this stuff in here, and then nice thing about this Plastruct is it dries so well. It's absolutely phenomenal. So I am going to work on this a little bit more, and you can see now how all this stuff goes together. Now, here's another thing that you guys need to keep in mind. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. Now this is the double track. This is, I believe, the 128 foot bridge, and everything goes together really well on this. It's just, it's kind of like a Lego thing. It kind of snaps together, but it's not cheap. I've seen a lot of stuff come out from 3D print that was excessively cheap for no reason. These are not like that. These are actually very well constructed and just great models. I mean, everybody has their preferences for models. Mine is the easiest. The easy is the better. Well, these guys make an incredible model that is absolutely phenomenal and super easy to use. Now, when it comes to this piece right here, I'm going to kind of get it together. Okay, it's not going to stand at the bottom. So when it comes to this piece here, you definitely want to put some glue inside here to adhere it to this piece here. Now it's got a little bit of a rough edge right here, no big deal. A little bit of sandpaper, and that's gone. That's all it takes for this stuff is just a little bit of TLC. Now in a later video we're going to be painting one of these to match. Actually, I like the old UP style where they used silver on everything. So that's what we're going to do. But that's all you have to do with these things. You just have to, dress them up just a little bit. You want to scuff it up so that the glue adheres to it a lot easier and a lot freer. Just like that. So anyways, guys, when we fall over, when we come back, we're going to have one side made, and then we're going to start working on the other side, and I'm going to show you just exactly how all that stuff works. So I'll be right back, and you guys hang tight, okay? Okay, guys, now here's something I want you to see. When we put these end pieces on, you're going to want to line it up here and then press it in to this end here. But it's great. It absolutely works, and it's so perfect every freaking time. This is absolutely cool. Now, I did switch up my adhesives to the bonder, or the bondine. And if you just put it up here in the crack at the top, right there, just like that, it's going to weld it right there where you want it. And then you want to go ahead and put some in down here on this piece. Now, you can use the CA glues that are in the bottle. It's a squeeze bottle. I just prefer this. This is just my thing. Whatever you're more comfortable with, that's what I want you guys to use. And trust me, this is all trial and error. None of this is 100% fact. But now when we come back, we're going to have the other side put together. Now, before we get to that, I do want to say that in top of all these seams, I did drop some of this plastic right inside there. And it's simple. Just get a little bit on there. Just drop it right in that hole. Because, no bridge is ever perfect. And this will seam it together every time, and it looks phenomenal. So there's one side of the bridge done. We're going to do the other side. Now, we are going to put track in this as well. So I'm going to show you guys how to do all that here in a little bit. But let's get the other side built up, and let's see what happens. All right, guys, now we've almost got this bridge completely done. Now, one of the things you want to do is you're going to find these in with the kit. Now, a lot of you guys don't realize what this is. This is the center rail that goes down the middle of the rails that holds everything in place to make sure that the ties don't come apart and all that. Old design, great design. But what I have done to make this a little bit easier is I'm going to go ahead and show you the one I made for myself, which is right here. Now, as you can tell, I took a lot of the center pieces out. I took those out because they're tacked in by a rail tamper. So this bridge is a little bit longer than the other one I have, but you guys get the idea. You want this piece to be at the end of the bridge, just like so. And these fit right down inside there. So this is going to be the end of the rail right here. Now the rail actually fits right in between the ties of this bridge. So it works out really, really well. This is an absolutely great plan, great design. So I wanted you guys to see this. This is how we do that, or this is how I do that. Let me put it that way. This is a great piece. A lot of places don't leave this in with the kit. Now, I don't know why. They want you to make their own or whatever, use rail or whatever. We're going to paint this to match the rail. It's actually going to be a rust color because they're never used. So we're going to paint those rust. And of course, the bridge is not quite complete yet because it doesn't have the canopy. Well, the canopy pieces are really easy to install, and this is what they look like. You've got different pieces, different lengths, but the longer ones go in these pieces right here. So that's how this is put together. So I'm going to finish this up, and this just glues into place, and you do have to bend it a little bit. Now there are some pieces in here that have the little webbing on them from the 3D printer. It's not a big deal. For what you're getting, this is absolutely phenomenal. Now don't forget, the big end of this is what goes at the end of the bridge. So it's going to go in right here, and that's the beginning of the support. So that's all this we got here, and let's see what else we can work up here, buddy. Now something I want to point out is there's two sides to these, and you want to make sure you use the right side. Now the correct side you're going to want to use have rivets in it. And I'll show you what the rivets look like here. Let me get my eyeballs focused in here. Okay, so right here there's a rivet sliver that goes all the way down this that shows where it was riveted together with another piece of the bridge. Now like I said, this stuff's super flexible, and it's going to fit over this canopy just beautifully. So man, I can't wait to get this thing finished, getting on my layout. Yes, I'm in the process of building a layout, and these Stalwart bridges are going to be the only bridges I use on this entire thing. But that's how you install these things. You just put a little bit of glue right here at the joint of the trestle. You're good to go. Alright guys, so here you go. This is the finished product right here. Let me get my glasses out of the way. I'm going to point some stuff out to you using the old rusty trusty X-Acto. So when you're going to put these girders in the tops, you always want to start with the center first and work your way out. Now, to get these bends in it, what I've had to do is you glue each piece, let it completely dry, and then you move on to the next piece by bending it just a little bit, and you're going to start getting all this good stuff going on where it's going to conform to the bridge and look really, really good. Now, we're going to do a video in the very near future of painting one of these things, and like I said, we're going to do it in, the Santa Fe and the UP had this thing going on in the Midwest where they painted everything silver. So we're going to go with that. It's I think it's actually like a platinum mist silver. I'm not 100% on that, but we're going to use that. Actually, I'm just probably going to use the silver base, but then we're also going to weather it into points where it needs it, like here where the rust spots would be and things like that, little rust features. But we're going to have all the features going on this thing, and this thing was so easy to build. This thing has literally taken me less than an hour to put together from start to finish, and letting everything dry in between and letting everything else go, and with checking my smoker. So guys, I want you guys to really check out these models. These guys are absolutely incredible, and like I said, it's absolutely fun to do this. I love doing it every chance I get. Those Stalwart 3D. These guys make some incredible models, and I want you guys to go check them out. Jason has a lot of great stuff, and he's coming up with new stuff all the time. And he just came out with a viaduct that is very cool. I got to see some sneak peeks of that, and it is on our Facebook group page, Acme Trains, AACME TRAINS. And feel free to join us on there, and you're going to get to see the new stuff that's coming out soon from myself. I've got some couple models coming out. You're going to get to see all the great stuff that Jason's coming up with for the bridges and embutments. He actually has the end embutments that look really great. I can't wait to get some of those myself. I'm getting everything together for my layout, and we're starting to really work on it a lot. Now, as you saw, we had some, wet transfer decals on my little mixer board, and we're going to figure out what company we're going to use for that stuff. But let me tell you something, Stalwart3D is the place to get any kind of bridge, trestle, the piers, things like that. These guys have it going on, and I want you guys to check them out. Now, I know it's a little bit of a lengthy video, but it was worth it, I think, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Now, don't forget, these things are absolutely phenomenal models, and they look great. And after you get the track installed on these things, it really comes to life. Now, of course, when we get it painted and weathered and everything else, it's going to be a lot nicer. But until then, this is what we got, and it is phenomenal. And it's great to run it just like this. You can put this thing on your layout and just run it as is. I just like for things to be a little bit weathered looking and not bright and shiny. But these models are phenomenal. Stalwart3D is the place you need to go check out all this stuff. He's got a store on Etsy. He's got eBay. And, of course, he's on here. Jason's got a lot of stuff, and you guys need to check him out. And until next time, when he comes up with something new that I get to build for you, we'll talk to you then. I'm Chris signing out. You guys have an incredible day. Thank you very much.